Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Vorse, coming to you from St. Peter's Square, Vatican. We saw a report come out recently about Gallup. The Gallup organization is now declaring America a pro-life country, because for the third successive poll in a row, a larger number of people identified themselves as pro-life as opposed to pro-choice, or what we should refer to as pro-abortion. It's a very interesting number. 47% said self-identified as pro-life, 45% self-identified as pro-choice. Now, it's very interesting when you stop and think. First of all, it's not a majority. Second of all, when you identify as pro-life, what exactly do you mean by that? Now, that question came up recently back in Arizona, when the Bishop of Arizona, Thomas Olmsted, excommunicated a nun who was at a hospital, who gave her consent for an abortion to be performed to save the life of a mother. And this is one of those hard cases where you sit here and say, wow, this is really going to be a sad outcome probably. But it makes the point that to say you're pro-life does not mean I'm pro-life except. So when Gallup is asking these questions, are you pro-life? What they're not getting into is, are you absolutely 100% pro-life, or are you pro-life except for this cause, and that exception? Problem with this is that a lot of people in the pro-life movement are seeing this as an advance, that, oh, look, America's becoming more pro-life, America's becoming more pro-life. That may be true, but it is not the case that America is pro-life in the sense that the church understands pro-life. Bottom line on abortion, you may never take someone's life to save another life, take an innocent life to save another life. This just can't be done. And when we get down to this very, very sticky issue like this, a lot of people are sort of, well, I'm pro-life, but. No. To be pro-life means that I'm pro-life 100%. Just like to be Catholic means I'm Catholic 100%, not 95%, not I'm okay with everything the church says except contraception, or I'm okay with everything the church says except homosexual marriage. No. To be Catholic is to be 100% Catholic. That's it. As we've talked about time and time again, to be Catholic means to be authentically, to be radically in love with Christ. And to be radically in love with Christ means you give everything 100%. You are on board totally with the teachings of the church. To stand in Rome in St. Peter's Square, you really get that sense. You really get that sense of the stretching back over the 2,000-year history of the church. A few hundred yards below me are the bones of St. Peter. And, here's a man who gave himself 100%. Father John Hardin, very famous priest who died a number of years ago, used to make the comment that until the church begins to feel that sense of the first century and second century Christians, until Catholics begin to have that sense about themselves, that the church is going to continue to sort of flounder and be a moral voice, but then kind of pull back, not the church teachings, but individuals in the church will continue to sort of set an unsteady course for civilization. It is precisely because many Catholics have sort of shirked their responsibility to help save the world, to help advance the cause of the faith, that we find Western civilization crumbling apart like we do now. Well, in the meantime, remember, be a good Catholic. I'm Michael Vorse, coming to you from St. Peter's Square at Vatican City.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil, because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.